Alright, so today I'll be coming to you guys with a full rogue guide. I'll be going over all three specs as well as answer some basic questions I got in all my recent videos. The first question I got is, how do you get 3 stealth charges? So now I'm going to show you how you can get 3 stealth charges. The first thing is, if you go to your skills and then you press on stealth, you go into the engraving, and you take the second engraving, Mighty Power. It says stealth gains 1 additional charge. That's one way to get a second stealth charge. Then if you go into Mastery and you look at Night Ninja, I have it at Tier 2 level 1, but once you get it to Tier 1 level 1, you will also gain an additional stealth charge, meaning you have 3 full stealth charges. Something else is, I'll put timestamps in the description over with the things I go over. I'll be starting with Shadow Dancer, then I'll be going into Spellblade, and then I'll be going into Blade Master. So for Shadow Dancer, let's have a look at the talents you want to take. So first in Combat Master, you want to take Bravery, then you want to take Vicious, and you want to take your artifacts point into Vicious as well, but I will go over that once we get to the artifacts. So then you want to take Agile to give you attack speed, Force Release, which is a pretty good thing as well, because you will be having energy drops and high energy in the beginning. And then you want to take Crit Rate. This might be a difficult one over Crit Damage. You could technically take 1 point into Crit Damage and the rest into Crit Chance, and then take your artifact to give you more Crit Damage, but that's something that will be happening more towards late game. So for now I recommend to take full Crit Rate. And now you take either Relentlessness or Ambush. That's totally up to you. If you play more PvE, I would take Riddlessness. If you play more PvP, I would take Ambush. Now onto the strategist tree, you want to go for max hit rate, as it will allow you to have the best possible stats for PvE as well as PvP. Then Unyielding Will will reduce the duration of incoming crowd control effects by 10%, which is really nice, although you can also take Readiness, which will basically remove all of your crowd control once every 5 minutes. But I do take the PvP skill for that. Now, for the next path, you want to take Precision, as it will help. It's quite an important stat for rogues as well. And then the final option is Tactical Plan. Tactical Plan increases your movement, when you use a movement ability, your critical strike chance is increased by 10%. I believe it's 5% if you don't have an extra point in it, but I do recommend taking an extra point into it to maximize your crit chance after using a dash, aka when leaving stealth. Now, my talent builds are all pretty similar across all 3 rogue specs, but I'll still be covering what I think is the best for every rogue spec. Now onto the sigils. My sigils are far from perfect, I know that. I mainly just took those for power as well as to take some good stats, but as you can see I also have intellect and strength in there, which I don't need at all. The things I would try to focus on are crit rate and dexterity, and dodge possibly as well. So those were the sigils. And now I will try to go over what stats you should go for. So as for the stats, you want to go for 103% accuracy at least, so you can hit on level 63 mobs, which is good for Overlord dungeons as well as progression rating. And then other than that, you also want to get 5% precision. Another really important stat for you is critical chance, which mine is at 37%, which is still relatively low, but it's still a good thing to work on, especially with your sigils. Something else for PvP is your PvP power and PvP strength. Mine are both at 9.7% almost, so that is pretty nice. Okay, now I will try to show you guys a quick combo of what I would do if I was playing Shadow Rogue. So you want to start off in stealth, want to target your opponent. Then you will want to dash in using your Shadow Stride. Then you will want to use your other dash into a stun, into re-stealth, into throat. So as you can see, now I'm just building up my stacks, going for a dash, dash, attack, throat, attack, attack, throat. Now, I know the damage is quite low, but that's because my skills aren't currently spec'd into Shadow Dancer. They're all on Blade Master, so it's still a good thing to have. Now let's go on to the next rogue spec, which is Spellblade. Okay, so now I went to Spellblade. Let's go over the same things again. First, let's start off with the masteries. I still take Night Ninja here because Night Ninja gives you an additional stealth charge, and as well, if you have it at tier 2, it will also give you invincibility for 2 seconds every time you use it, which is really useful, especially in PvP. As for the skill upgrade order, I would go with Stealth, Sword of Deception, Shadow Stride, Go for the Throat, and Enchant Weapon. That would be the order I upgrade those skills in. As for the sigils, you basically want to take the same exact sigils as you did for Shadow Dancer. And the talents are also the same, although I would say you pretty much have to take Ambush here because Spellblade is mostly focused towards PvP. So I would definitely recommend you to take Ambush here. Okay, I'm going to show you a quick combo of how to play Spellblade Rogue as well. So I've already showed this combo in a previous video, but you want to start off in stealth, you want to dash to them, use your enchanted blade, use your Blade of Curse, then you want to use Sword of Deception, go back into stealth, and then use Double Trove. Okay, so let's give it a go, shall we? So as you could see, that was the combo. I peaked DPS there at around 60k, which is insane for PvP. So yeah, that was the Spellblade combo. Now let's go into the final spec, which is Blade Master, which is my current profession. So yeah, for Blade Master, let's go over the skills really quick. Those are my current skills. The order I recommend you to upgrade them in is Stealth, Crescent Razor, Phantom Slice. I would actually say Phantom Slice is probably more important than Crescent Razor even. So Stealth, Phantom Slice, Crescent Razor, Shadow Stride, Go for the Throat. Your Fan of Knives and Snake Reflexes aren't too important. Now onto the masteries. This is actually the only rogue spec I would recommend you to take Illusion instead of Night Ninja. I still have it leveled from my other specs, but I do recommend you to take Illusion as it will increase your bleeding damage by 100%. As well as your Shadow Stride damage by 80%. Now, for the talents, I would say that pretty much the only thing you have to do is take Ruthlessness, as it's more a PvE-based class, so taking Ambush doesn't really have too many benefits. As for the sigils, they're all pretty much the same. And now I will try to show you guys a combo on how to play Blade Master Rogue. So let's go back to the dummy and I will try to show you guys how to play Blade Master. So you want to obviously start off in stealth, and you will want to dash in, apply your bleed with Phantom Slice, build Malice and use Go for the Throat whenever it's available. So I will try to do a short clip of how to do it. So here you want to dash in, you want to use Phantom Slice, Re-Stealth, Crescent, build up your stacks right before your stealth runs out. Use Double Throat, even though you don't have the max throat at the end. And yeah, just keep doing the same thing. You have a 4-second window after your Phantom Slice off cooldown before the bleed runs out. But as you can see, I have 5 stacks, so I reapply the bleed. And this is basically everything you do for Blade Master. It's probably the most consistent PvE class there is, as you can keep up around 32 to 33k DPS. So yeah, this was the rotation for Blade Master Rogue. Now the final thing I wanted to show you guys was my artifacts. My artifacts are far from perfect, but I'll still show you guys what I went for. So for the first tree, for the Flonus Mercy, I upgraded the entire left tree. Basically because you can take Condensation, which increases your basic attacks by 15%. For Eudora is the one I'm actually upgrading second. You also want to take the basic attack 15% one. and then you just want to max this one afterwards. But for the Delos Holy Blessing, also take the entire left side. So basically take all the 3 left sides as soon as you can, and then start maxing your Eudora's Burning Rage. As for the Reforge, I mainly went with hit rates and tried to get Vicious as a secondary. So far I was able to get a pretty decent Flowness artifact with Cunning +4 and Vicious +1. As for Eudora, I only have Cunning +2 and Vicious +1. And for the Blessing of Dalo, I have Cunning +4 and Tactical Plan +1. That is basically it. If there would be any more questions that you would like to ask me, please do let me know and I will try to cover them in an upcoming video. Thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, let me know what you want to see next.